Animation is a way of making a movie by using a series of either hand-drawn photos, computer graphics, or photographs, or objects such as puppets or models that are slightly different from one another, that when viewed quickly, one after another will create an illusion of movement. For the invention of film, humans depicted motion in static art as far back as the Paleolithic period. All of these devices of technology evolves using various techniques as a process like traditional animation, limited and fold animation, rotoscoping, model animation, and so on and so forth. The following animation techniques are some of my favorite which caught my attention due to their varying requirements of creativity, patience, and passion. Traditional animation technique, or also known as cell animation, classic animation, or hand-drawn animation, has been used in the most animated films of the 20th century. It is one of the most popular as well as the oldest technique of animation. The individual frames of a traditionally animated film are photographs of drawings which are first drawn on paper, where each drawing is a bit different from the one preceding it to produce a false impression of movements. Some of the famous animation movies using traditional animation technique are Pinocchio, a Walt Disney production, which was produced in the United States in the year 1940. Animal Farm, a 1955 British-American adult animated film by Hallis and Batchelor, which was produced in the UK. This animation technique piqued my attention due to the fact that it is the oldest and the originator of highly creative frame-by-frame hand-drawn consistency. Can you imagine the time you need to illustrate and colorize an 80 to 120 minutes animated hand-drawn film? The volume of patience to make sure the characters are consistently drawn throughout the entire film is unimaginable. Some of the latest animated films using the same technique with the help of the latest computer technology are not as hard as the earlier process, but one thing is for sure. This animation technique and process involves sacrifice for the love of animation film production. Silhouette animation, as invented by Reiniger, is a subdivision of cutout animation techniques where characters are only visible as black silhouettes to create a very striking, dramatic image. This is usually accomplished by backlighting articulated cardboard cutouts of paperboard, sometimes reinforced with thin metal sheets, which are then moved frame by frame on an animation stand and filmed top-down with a rostrum camera. Some of the earliest silhouette movies are The Sporting Mice in 1909, by British filmmaker Charles Armstrong, and the first to have survived is the same directors, The Clown and His Donkey in 1910. The Adventures of Prince Ahmed in 1926, one of the oldest of all animated features, coincided with a revival of interest in silhouette and sparked off several imitators. What caught my attention using this technique? Creativity. Can you imagine producing a lengthy movie that solely relies on the dramatic motions and silhouettes? This animation technique is indeed a one-of-a-kind approach in filmmaking because of its highly creative requirements due to tons of creative process to showcase the emotions through shapes in motion from the very first slides. The timing and pacing of this technique requires a lot of experience and patience to perfectly convey the right rhythm of the character's silhouette, the background motion and pacing, as well as the voice narration and soundtracks. There is a lot of animation techniques out there. Most of them are the evolution of original technique. I believe when it comes to defining which technique is the best or what piqued my interest, I will be basing my selection to the technique originator who founded the process through creativity, patience, and passion. This is all for now. I hope you liked and found my short presentation very informative. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.